This is the second or the continuation of the video regarding research paper. Now, this video intends to give you on how to write the research questions. The research questions reflect the main problem of the research. This include two important pieces of information: the precise objectives of the investigation and the study content or specific questions. This implies that researcher cannot effectively carry out the study unless he has a purpose and knows what to look for when investigating reality. To define a problem means to specify it in a greater detail to focus to the main objective of the research. The focusing provides a clear direction to the research activity. For quantitative research, the questions are stated in the interrogative form. The subheading is called Statement of the Problem. The general aim of the study is stated first. A good main problem spells out expected subproblems that will further clarify it. Then the sub-questions follows. The general statement is relatively brief. Contradictory statements, it describes the general objectives of the study. Let us say, this behavioral analytic research was conceived to assess the problem solving and decision making skills and values of school managers in 4 higher educational institutions comprising its top and middle level administrative officers, determine the most common types of organizational decision making that exist in higher educational institutions, and assess how the value systems of the respondents affect their decisions. So this is very general. For the specific statement, we have what you call descriptive dimensions. It elicits data on specific variables. The rational analysis dimension to determine if the significant relationship between or among variables exists. Then, when you say descriptive dimension, for example, specifically, this study sought answers to the following questions. What is the level of the problem solving and decision-making skills of senior high school teachers of a particular school in terms of the following skill categories? So, specific siya. Descriptive, you have to describe only in terms of their critical thinking, lateral conceptualization, risk assessment, alternative weighing, data gathering and processing, perception judgment, tool selection. So very specific. For rational analysis, is there a significant relationship in the level of the problem solving and decision-making skills among senior high school teachers of HEI when grouped according to gender, degree, finish, rank, age, number of years in teaching, number of past positions held. So for this, you can now go to the writing the hypothesis, because the problem now is what are the specific hypotheses for this. At least two, we have the null and we have the alternative. This segment serves as a direction to the researcher. Hypothesis serves the same purpose as objectives. Stated in null hypothesis form, they are neither accepted or rejected. Those studies with inferential questions are the ones placed in this part. A hypothesis is an educated guess that is formulated and provisionally accepted as answer to the rational dimension problem. Null hypothesis means no existence of association or correlation. For example, there is no significant difference in the levels of problem solving and decision making scales of the managers of HEI across the following scales: critical skills, critical thinking skills, lateral conceptualization, risk assessment, alternative weighing, data gathering and processing, perception and judgment, tool selection. For alternative, normally the affirmative form of the null hypothesis or the opposite of the null hypothesis, there is a significant difference in the levels of problem solving and decision making skills of the managers of higher education institutions across the following skills: critical thinking skills. So this is just the affirmative statements of your null hypothesis. So it is the opposite statements of the first hypothesis. So if you try to look at the same criteria across, okay, of the different criteria in the stating the hypothesis. Okay, that's all for this morning, and continue writing your chapter 1, 2, 3 as your proposal. Good luck.